Hi all, and welcome to Night Rips and the last 4 packs of 1991 Stadium Club Series 1. So far it's been a fun opening. I mean, obviously getting the originals of some of the repeats that I had gotten out of the Topps Stadium Club 2021, you know, since it is their 30th anniversary, is always a nice thing. And just seeing some of these old cards in general. You know, this is the inaugural season of Stadium Club, so it's interesting to see how something started that, you know, it's now continuing today. At least it will be for a little while longer, until at least till Topps is no longer in the MLB market. There's the bars card. This would be the card that explains the heat map on the back of batters cards. So if you want to pause and read that, there you go. I don't really show the backs that often because it would take a little bit longer. You know, I know most people don't even look at backs of cards anymore. They really just want to see the front. Even though I will say these cards, the backs of these cards are very nice also. Actually, I will show one as soon as I get these two cards apart. Yeah, this was actually the back. And you see it's a little different than a lot of the other Topps products because you actually see a picture of the rookie Topps card along with, you know, stats, you know, the batting order, the batting averages based on left hand, right hand. Also, if it's inside, outside, up, down, center. Plenty of stats to go around instead of the yearly ones that was always on the regular state, you know, series, and still is on the regular series. There's Dan Plesac, and you have to excuse my doggy in the background as always. It's time to rip cards, so it's time for her to come take a nap. And Mark Lemke. So one thing about these is because it is, oh, there's Bobby Witt. Because this is Kodak film paper, there is a little stick to them. And Dave Stewart. Recognize him. A little blemish on the card there. Marquise Grissom. Of course, he was a rookie in 1990. Remember that from a lot of the 1990 openings of Upper Deck. And that's the thing. A lot of these cards you'll recognize. If you watch any of those Upper Deck videos, you'll see a lot of these players. You know, Lenny Dykstra. Which makes sense because they were the big names at the time. Howard Johnson. And last but not least, Mark Guthrie. All right, 3 packs to go. Oh, see Kevin Moss right here on the back, right here on the back. So we're gonna see some repeats, which is expected. There's 300 cards in this series 1, and in 36 packs of 12 cards each, you know, obviously you're gonna get close to 350 cards. I don't think these counted as a card, the club membership or the bars. Actually, I have not counted the cards to see, but that would suck if that was actually, because those are, you know, promotions, not really a card. But you never know. It's possible that they did. I hope not. There's Kirby Puckett, another big player there in the early 90s, along with Ozzie Guillen. Again, he was also in the 1990 rookie. Matter of fact, we go ahead and look back here. Yeah, the 1990 Topps traded. because he was actually brought in. I think he was actually brought in as an Expo, but I have to go back and look. Yeah, I think he was actually brought as an Expo, not as a White Sox. But it's possible. I may be wrong. I have been wrong before. I will be wrong again. To West. Stan Javier. Nice swinging bunt there. And we got Joe Gerardi. Recognize him more recently as a manager than a player. And he likes to be stuck to a card behind him. Being very cautious because I don't want to do any damage. It's one of the reasons I keep my fingernails pretty trimmed. Pete. Not even going to attempt his last name. Martin Lampke again. We're starting to get to some of our dupes again. There's Bobby Witt. Dave Stewart again. Of course, don't have the blemish on it this time. Starting to float up too high. We got Marquise Grissom again. Actually, it wasn't Ozzie Gillian. It was the Shields and Larry Walker. So that was the 3 rookies from the Expos. And Kevin Moss. So I was wrong, but I corrected myself. All right, two packs to go. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I mean, it is always fun to open up old stuff like this, because you never know what you're going to run into. And it definitely shows how the industry's changed. Even before Fanatics took over the MLB, which happens in a couple of years. Of course, there's the Bars card again. Hope it's not a counted card. There's Brian Barnes. And what do y'all think about the takeover or the new, after 70 years, Topps losing the MLB license? Yeah, to me, it's kind of sad, because obviously, I love Stadium Club, Gypsy Queen, starting to get into Allen and Ginter finally. And of course, just your base Topps set. That to me is baseball. That's what I grew up with. I did collect. Good Lord, these are not coming apart at all. I did collect during the junk wax time. So, seeing Score, Donruss, Fleer, all those come into being, it's still baseball to me. But, Topps is it. It's been it for 70 years. There's Bo Jackson again. We've already pulled him once. So it's gonna be bittersweet. I hope Fanatics does well with it, because I'd hate to see the hobby fall apart just because it's no longer Topps. And if you remember all the problems that Upper Deck had at the beginning, what's going to happen when Fanatic comes into being? Paul Molitor. Will they have as many issues? Are you going to see a lot of error cards and whatnot? Probably not as much, because they were just trying to put cards out as fast as they possibly can back in the late 80s, early 90s. But there it is. There's the Shields. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm real curious to watch. It's Manny Lee. And back-to-back Canada right there. So this is it. Last pack from this box. Let's see what we get in here. Anything crazy? I don't know. And there was really nothing super crazy in this. So it's not like we're going to find an auto or any weird inserts or parallels or whatnot. It was just base cards. It wasn't until years later that they actually started coming out with some of the modifications. And I do have some of that coming, but it won't be in this pack. So the last thing we got was another one of the advertisements to join the Stadium Club. Carney Lansford. There's Sammy Sosa again. Definitely a good one to pull, since he was still a new player at that point. Of course, whenever I got Sammy Sosa, I think we should start getting into some of the crazy cards. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, it's Mike Fitzgerald. Maybe he was towards the end. I don't know. Milt Thompson. There's the Shields again. Manny Lee again. These are all at the bottom of the box, so yeah. Sid Fernandez. Ellis Burks. Interesting slide there. We got the 1991 baseball checklist. So this looks like 201 to 300. Yeah, it is right there. And Topps was always good about putting the checklist at the end. So yeah, it's the card 300. There'll be 300, 200, and 100 will be all the checklists. So you can keep them organized. You have Al Newman. And one last card, and that would be Pat Borders. So we did pull a Sammy Sosa in that cool looking White Sox uniform, even though more people knew him as a Cub. But definitely was a fun pull. This whole was a fun box. I'd be interested once I go through them to see how far did we actually make it through the entire, first 300 cards. Obviously, I definitely think there is some missing, which tells me that just means I'm going to have to go find me another box. But that's all fine. I mean, and it's to be expected. But I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you do, make sure to subscribe and hit the notify. Yeah, I do put up a lot of stuff, and I try to not do a lot of the same stuff. And even if I do open a lot of things, I don't typically put them up every day. I do a lot of mix. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe. So I know, got people that are interested in seeing what I do. If you liked the video, I appreciate the thumbs up. It does help. And if you have any comments, drop them in the comment section below. I do appreciate the time you spent watching me open yet another vintage pack or 4 packs of 1991 Stadium Club. And I look forward to doing this again with you. Until then, bye now.